Venne Vidi Vintage. I came, I saw, I finally got my cards back from PSA after 17 months. Happy hobby. I'm David Goss. Once again, if you are a sports card collector and you're working with a limited budget, make sure you subscribe to this channel because that's what we talk about here. Today, though, we're getting into my PSA order from March of 2021. Now, we did a PSA reveal last month, and that was for my modern cards that had come back. Same time I submitted, but they're two separate orders in the same box. So the vintage looks like they're a little farther behind on vintage. So 1 month later, 17 months, I finally got them. Now, if you're new to this channel, we do box breaks, we do PSA blind reveals, we do SGC blind reveals, all sorts of stuff, CSG, HTA. I also give tips for collectors, and basically I'm always kind of looking out for the low budget card collector because that's what I am. I don't have one-of-ones, PSA 12s, that's not me. But in here, these are cards that I've collected over the past 12 years. These aren't ones that I collected as a kid, but we got Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, Hank Aaron. We've got some good ones in here. They're just a little beat up. They're well loved, as you would say. And a few vintage football collectors. I have a Joe Namath and Jim Brown and Ernie Davis in here, so I'm hoping those are going to be good too. Not a lot of 10s. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have any cards over 6 in here. I'm expecting, I have 21 cards. 9, I think, are expected to be above a 5. At least that's what my grade was. Very possible they're all below a 5. Now, March of 2021, how long ago was that? Well, the Lakers, the LA Lakers, were still the reigning NBA champs. Yeah. The Virginia Cavaliers, led by DeAndre Hunter, were still the reigning men's basketball champions in college. Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm celebrating today. Whenever I get a big reveal like this, I like to celebrate. I like to dress up nice. I got a nice ribeye steak with baked potato and Caesar salad waiting for me. Glass of scotch. This is going to be a nice reveal. I'm going to enjoy this. This is a celebration. I hope you do the same whenever you get cards back from PSA. Or when you get a big box, an awesome box of cards you're looking forward to. Enjoy it. Make it an event. All right, so I'm expecting to see more 2s and 3s in here than Michael Jordan's closet. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get into this. Now, I've already cut into the box and I pulled this and I see, yep, one card that did not get graded. I have a feeling I know what it is. I think it's my Mickey Mantle because it did have some writing on it in 2 different spots. So I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all these out, get them set up, and then won't look at the grades, and then we'll get going on this. Okay, so we're all set up. I now know which card this is because I put these all out and put them aside. We'll go through these in order. This should be a Sandy Koufax 19. I see it says here card inside, so you don't just toss it out. So let me whip into this. Oh, it looks like I can slide it out right here. Sandy Koufax. It says minimum size requirements, and NT6 is what they used to call it, because it happened with me with a Jackie Robinson. So it looks like apparently it's not the right size that's supposed to be, and they don't say trimmed, which I do believe they if you get it and it's trimmed, it'll say evidence of trimming. So it doesn't say that. It just says doesn't meet the size requirement, which from what I gather is because a lot of times those cards back then were not cut and produced right. So I don't know. It wasn't as precise as it is now. That's what I'd heard. Somebody's probably just being nice. All right, so here's what we do. We go through this. This is my guess for the card, and I do my little. I got my scotch going, my little Johnny Walker Black. You sipping on that. And I got my little card cover here. So we'll look at this. First is the Al Kaline. Now, as soon as I pulled this out, you might remember from my other one, but I had creased cards that I didn't realize how badly that would affect the grade. This is my first submission ever to PSA. So that was some newbie stuff right there. So you can see it right here, that crease. All right, so I guessed initially, I had guessed that this was going to be a 4, I believe. But with that crease, I don't think it can be higher than a 3. So at this point, I hope it's a 3. So I don't know why I'm not turning around. First off, these 1956 cards are just so beautiful. So I'm hoping this is at least a 3 at this point because of the crease. It's a poor 1. Just to start us off wrong. All right, well, that's what it is. I mean, that's, like I said, I was guessing, and my guess was way off. So let's see if we do better on this one. This is the Warren Spahn. Let me move this around. I'll try to be fast with this, so I apologize. It's Warren Spahn. My guess with this is a 6. And let's see. It's a nice looking card. Centered a little to the left. The corners are pretty beat. It'd be crazy if this is a 6. Is that a crease right there? It looks like that's a crease right there. So let's see what we end up with. It's a VG3. All right, so because of the crease, makes sense. So we are back to back. All right, that's all right. It's going to be better. These are old cards. These are 70-year-old cards. Let's get a break. Enos, so let's move this over now. Enos Slaughter. Mostly with the Cardinals, but I believe this is when he was with the Yankees. Yeah. Enos Slaughter with the Yankees. Is that a crease across the... Did I just send nothing but creased cards? Is that what the... I've waited 17 months for creased cards. VG3. I was hoping for a 5 on the... This is a lot. This is brutal. All right, so... it's fun for you, though. That's my thinking. This is good entertainment for you. And maybe you're learning, too. Okay, so I don't send old creased cards. Good to know. All right, so this next one, let's get this one. This is Hoyt Wilhelm. Now, Hoyt Wilhelm, so I like to do a little history, teach you a little history here. Hoyt Wilhelm was one of the best relief pitchers. He was a knuckleballer, and I believe he ended up spending some time with the Yankees as well. But Hoyt Wilhelm, this is Orioles, 1961, and I guess this was a 5. I don't see a crease, so that's good. And I got a 5. All right, so all right, so that's good news. That's a good one, because of all of the Hoyt Wilhelm collectors. Yeah, he actually holds the all-time record with 124 wins as a relief pitcher, which is interesting. He's a knuckleballer. All right, Yogi Berra. Love this card. You can see how off-centered it is on the back. It's to the right and to the bottom a little bit. Let's see what my guess here on this one is. Yogi Berra, my guess is a 4. By the way, these guessing things and the blue cover, there's a shout out to the Card Closet Canada YouTube guy, Aaron, I believe his name is. He's awesome. He's the one that originally did this. So you can see it's a really beautiful card. It's just really off-centered. So I did guess a 4 on this because of the centering. Let's see how I ended up. I got a 5. That's good. All right, that's good. That's good. So let's see here. All right, that's a nice looking card. I'm looking forward to putting that up in the old display. Of course, I'll be putting most of these in the display. Crease or not, I'm happy to get these back. These are ones I collected. Obviously collected them raw, and got them over the past 20, 30 years. I wasn't old enough to get these as a kid. So here's another Al Kaline. This is 1962 as well. I love Al Kaline, by the way. I lived in Lakeland for a while, and that's where their spring training is. All right, I guess a 3 on this. Let's see what we get. Got a 3. Yeah, all right. I was hoping for a little bit. I guess it's just super off-centered, some banged up corners, pretty good. So that's all right. It stays what I guessed. So it's better than going down. I'll tell you what. All right, this was one of the cards I was very much looking forward to getting back. One of my best cards. We'll see. I don't see any creases, and it looks good on the back, and it looks pretty nice on the front. Obviously some soft corners. So my guess was a 5. Let's see what I get here on the old Willie Mays 1964. A 3. A 3. Well, that's all right. What are you gonna do? I keep saying that's my motto. That's all right. Let me take. Hold on. I gotta get another drink of that. Should be the new drinking game. Whenever Dave gets a 3, he drinks. All right. That'd be a lot of drinking after this. All right, 1964. This is World Series Mickey Mantle's clutch homer. I got news for you. This counts as a Mickey Mantle card. It's in very good shape. I guess this one is a 6. So let's see what we get here. We got a 5. We're down 1. Goes down 1, but it's not too bad, and it is a really nice looking card. So let's see. We'll move on here to 1966. Ernie Banks. Now this is when that Sandy Koufax would have been in this little grouping here. I had 4 cards from 66. So I guess this was going to be a 2. It's off center. The corner, you can see that corner is a pretty bad corner. Just in general, just a really rounded card. But it's Ernie Banks. It's Mr. Cub. Let's see, did I get better than a 2? 2.5? That gets you one of those. I love that they threw a 0.5 on there for me. Much appreciated, PSA. All right, now the big boy. This is the Mickey Mantle. All right, let's can't see any Koufax. Now that I come to that, I have to do one of those. All right, Mickey Mantle. Now here's the deal with this. You can see it's very chewed up here. The fact that it's graded, I thought this was the one that wouldn't have gotten graded, because look at this here. We got a crease. We got a little crease here. Some dude wrote right field here on it. There's a crease in here. There's a crease here. I thought there was a mark on the back too, but I don't see one. I thought for some reason there was 2 pen marks on it, but there's a little stain down here. So if this is anything more than a 1, I would be shocked. Let's see what we got. A 1 with a mark, which makes it 2 degrees less. Like, this is a -1 grade, so I got that going for me. You know what, though? It's a graded Mickey Mantle. I could do much worse than that. Back-to-back Mickey Mantles. That was cool. What was the other one? That was a 5, right? Yeah, it's a pretty nice looking card, Mickey Mantle. All right, so now we're getting into the second set. Now, this is the batting leaders, NL batting leaders, 1966. It's actually 1965 batting leaders, but the card is a 66. And look at these guys. One card, it's obviously very off-centered, with Roberto Clemente, Hank Aaron, and Willie Mays. One card with all 3 of those guys. Absolutely one of my favorites. The centering is brutal, but to have those 3 guys on one, I'm super excited about that. I guess it was a 4. Let's see what we get. A 2. We got a 2 on that one. I'll put that away quickly. All right, that wasn't a 3, but I had to take another drink on that one. All right, so we're moving on quickly. We are into the second half. Got a Roberto Clemente, 1969. Let's see here what we got. What we're looking at. Gorgeous card. Both the 2 69s I have are 2 of my favorites. This one just a little off center to the right. You can see why I guess this was a 3. I guess the corners are pretty round. No marks. Yeah, look at the corners up here. Yeah, it's pretty beat. All right, so I guess it was a 3, and I got a 3. Okay, so Bob Clemente. I'm not a big fan of the name Bob Clemente. I wish they would have called him Roberto on all of his cards. I don't know why. It's just got a better cadence to it than Bob. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we get to the Hank Aaron. Let me set this down a second and reset my video. Okay, so put the cover on. Johnny Bench. I guess this one was a 5. It's one of the better cards that I sent. It looks pretty good from here. Obviously, it's off-center to the left. But let's see how I did. Hoping for a 5. A 3, man. They are just... We're going to need more scotch. Okay. Let me see. Is there a crease on here? I do not see a crease. Guess maybe stained. Looks like it's a little off color. Well, it's what it is. It's a... Oh, and it's moving around. It's a 3. I'm going to have to live with it. It's not that big of a deal. I was hoping for a 5. But this is kind of unraveled into a sea of 3s. I did tell you it was going to be more twos and threes than a Jordan closet. All right, so you can see obviously this Pete Rose All-Star from 70 has some stain on it. But man, the Sporting News All-Star cards, if I was ever going to collect a subset, an older subset, this would be the one I'd get. This one, or even like I think it's 60 or 61. Those All-Star cards are so nice looking. All right, Pete Rose, I guess the 3 on this one. A little off-center to the right and soft corner. Oh, off-center top, bottom 2. Let's see what we got. We got a poor 1. I feel like I should start doing the dun-dun-dun-duns earlier, like before I even look at them. Just kind of preemptively hit it with the bad news. All right, Hank Aaron, moving on. Hank Aaron, good news here. Love Hank Aaron. Not a horrible looking card. These 71 cards are tough to grade because of the black borders. You can see the white a lot easier when it's scuffed up. You can see it's kind of creased right there. So I guessed a 5 on this, and I'm gonna guess it's not a 5. It's a 3. I'm all right, so we're gonna move on quickly. Okay, we're getting into the football cards now. Maybe it's better news with the football cards. Elroy, Crazylegs, Hirsch. So, like I said, I want to give you a little history. So, Elroy Hirsch, you see it's off-center to the right, pretty bad. Elroy Hirsch was a halfback, obviously, in the 40s and 50s. He played in college for Wisconsin, and they got to number 3 in the rankings. And then the next year, he played for Michigan, and they got to number 3 in the rankings then. And I was trying to figure out how is that possible for him to go to Wisconsin and Michigan. And it's because he went into the military in the 40s, and Michigan had a military setup where he could do it through them somehow. Okay, so I guess this was a 6. There ain't no way this is a 6. Let's see what I got. A 4. We got a 4 on that. So I should almost say that I should almost do my hype horn whenever it's not a 3. Anything above a 3, I should definitely give the old hype horn to. Okay, Jimmy Brown. One of my all-time favorites. One of everyone's all-time favorites. I mean, come on. Did not win the Heisman at Syracuse, though. You can see the corners and the edging's pretty bad. It's centered pretty bad. I guess a 2 on this one. Let's see how we did. A 3 with MC. Oh, miscut. All right, whatever. So, but it's a 3, so we get one of those. That's cool. And it's Jim Brown. That's pretty awesome that it was Jim Brown. Now, just so you know, when it's a 3 with a qualifier, a lot of times people will just say, okay, that means it's -2, so it's a 1. But as far as I'm concerned, we're telling everybody it's +2. Whenever it's a miscut, that's a bonus. That thing's a 5. That's what I'm going to tell everybody. All right. Ernie Davis. Now, I mentioned Jim Brown did. I'm a Syracuse fan. So I mentioned Jim Brown did not win the Heisman. His successor, Ernie Davis, did win the Heisman a couple years later. Now, Jim Brown lost the Heisman to Paul Hornung, which was an absolute travesty. A travesty. This Ernie Davis, though, he did win the Heisman, and he was the first black college player to ever win the Heisman. So that's pretty amazing. It's historic. He was picked number 1 by the Washington Redskins, traded to the Browns, who already had Jim Brown, traded from Washington to the Browns for Bobby Mitchell and another player. But he had leukemia, and he died within a year, I believe it was. So it's a sad story. It's a historic story. Watch the movie The Express. It's all about his life. It's done a couple years ago. Awesome movie. So let's see. I guess this was going to be a 4. I got the 2. I should divide them all by 2, and then I'll know the grade. Well, as you can tell, I was not a professional grader back in the day. If you were wondering, I'm still not. I mean, heck. Okay, so this one's off center to the left. Mr. Joe Willie Namath. Did this have a crease in it? The corners, looks like the corners creased there a little bit. All right, so let's see what we got. I guessed a 4 on this. But first off, let's just take a look at this card. It's a gorgeous card. It is beautiful. It's a great set. It's a great series. The blood, the bandage. Come on. Joe Willie, this is awesome. Broadway, come on. I guessed a 4. I got a 3. 3s are the magic number. That's a great. De La Soul, I said it best. All right. We're to the last one, which is good because I got to drive the school bus later. So it's a good thing this is the last one. And I'm just kidding. I'm not driving a school bus. Okay. Dick Butkus, 1971 Topps. This is the last one. I guess this one was a 4. But again, this is very tough to grade because of the colored borders. Kind of like 1975 Topps. The same exact kind of setup with the color and the color. So I guess the 4 on this one. Let's end on a good note. Let's see what we got. Well, I guess that kind of counts. It's a 4. It kind of counts as a good one. At least it's not a 3. So I got that. So that's pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to go through these and we'll pull out the best ones. Hold on. Okay. So here's what we ended up with. The best ones. The Hoyt Wilhelm and Yogi Berra. And the World Series game. Like this one's definitely the best with Yogi Berra next. The Hoyt Wilhelm I could throw in a river as far as But the Elroy Hirsch, I was happy that ended up being one of my higher ones, considering it's one of the oldest cards that I have. Okay, so here's where it all goes bad. 9 3s, Ernie Banks 2.5. Don't do me any favors. And then 2 2s. And then 3 1s. Which the Mantle, I was fine with being a 1. I knew that was going to be a 1. But the Kaline, that should have been a 1 because of the crease. It's pretty bad. The Pete Rose blows my mind that that's a 1. I don't understand that. There's plenty in here for me to complain about, but there's also plenty in here that were my fault. Like, why would I have sent that in thinking it was going to be anything more than a 1? However, very happy to get these back, and once they're up in the display case and they're, once you're like 6 feet back, this looks like an 8.5, which is pretty cool. See, you can see from there. It's kind of, look at it, you got 8.5 Ernie Banks. That's pretty cool. So outside of the word good instead of mint, that would have been cool. So this is where we ended up. The 3s, yeah, that's not great. But with that said, whatever you do, if you get bad grades, if you get good grades, that's even better. But if you get bad grades, don't worry. They're your cards. You love them. You don't care. The grades are the grades. Make sure you just have a happy hobby.